Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Capsule Cast. I am your host, Destiny, with my co-host here, Xmat,
Hello, everyone.
and with our special guest here, Macho.
Hello. I'm also co-host. Yes.
He's co-host and coach of ED. There you
Yep.
go.
So, are you guys prepared to get into our quarterfinals?
Yeah, I've spent enough days crying about it. I'm good.
And I've spent enough days lapping the victory up, so yeah, got
You
it.
know, at least you have to be in quarters. Uh,
I wish you were facing muscle this round, X-Man. How about
I'm glad I'm not. I'm glad I'm not, bro.
I
It's
guess,
funny.
speaking of getting into the, I guess just speaking of matches, getting into the first set of matches here, we have Kaiju and Hybrids, and if I believe this did go to a 3-rounder, if I
It did. It was 2-1 to hybrids in the end.
yeah.
Very interesting set of matches. Round 1 and 3 were quite similar. It was quite almost stompy victories from hybrids. A lot of tags. Just really like ridiculous performances. Even Kid was doing alright. So that's when you know things are not going well, shall we say. But round 2 was like really, really close to the point where Oob almost lost to Kid Gohan, but he managed to seal a victory. But yeah, I think it was interesting set of matches.
Oh, I see. It's giving us more reason to, not allow Super Saiyan 2 Team Gohan,
Hybrids already broke without him. They don't need him, okay? He needs to stay banned.
I mean, I will say though, like Kaiju did put up a fight, but good on hybrids to do well. They have a pretty solid core right now with Ultimate, Teen, and Future, and for somehow it might just be he's working in playoffs, but they got Kid Gohan actually looking pretty decent right now.
Sword Trunks
Yeah.
as well. Sword Trunks
That-
did 80k
that
on the
too.
round 1.
Yeah,
He was
that
the
too.
carry round 1 too. Entire
He's
team.
back to form, like from last season where he was really good. So
I will say something probably not too unexpected for this season on Kaiju side though. No Scouter Vegeta for this playoffs.
yeah, he kind of sucked in the main season. Even when they tried to throw him on different shit at the end to try and see if they could do something with him, he just wouldn't. He wouldn't work. And the only build that I think I remember speaking to Nappa there, the Kaiju coach. The only build that like they had that was quite good for him requires Eternal Life, which obviously Bardock's been using all season to like great effect. So they opted to put Kid Goku in instead, who kind of had round 1 and 3, I think all of Kaiju kind of had kind of sucked basically.
I
All of
had
Bardock.
problems.
Yeah,
Had their
yeah,
issues.
they had their issues, definitely. That's one way of putting it. Round 2, though, when Kid Goku actually did decide to not get insta-killed, he kind of popped off. Him and I remember Nappa actually pretty much almost killing Teen in round 2. So in round 2, when Kaiju's, supporting Cass, shall we say, decided to pop off with Bardock, they did well. But I think when the supporting cast was just not quite on Bardock's level or even anywhere near, they kind of just didn't get the win, and that's where I say I think maybe Kaiju there's a bit too much of an over reliance on Bardock in this playoffs, and maybe that was part of the reason why they couldn't quite get through, sadly. But
I think at least for Kaiju here that they may have had an over reliance on Bardock, but that doesn't mean like they don't have good characters. I just think they just haven't found what works on the characters, or what have worked is just outdated.
I think they also did a little bit of experimentation on Oob in the last 2 rounds where they put him on Super 2, which I think they said they saw it in RW test do really well.
Okay.
But unfortunately, it didn't pan out that way
Um.
in the rounds because he kind of, even in round 2 where they won, Oob didn't fire up that many B2s when that's what he was built for. He just wasn't firing anything out. So, yeah, I think it was kind of rough for Kaiju that last round after they brought it back. I think they, usually when you get that one comeback win, you feel a bit of a high and you think maybe you could, at least have a tight end on round 3. But having experienced the very same thing myself, sometimes it doesn't happen that way. You get that tight win, get it back, and then you just get stopped. So it can happen. It's unfortunate, really.
Macho, your thoughts?
Yeah, I would go out on a limb and say I kind of disagree with your guys' opinion on it was Kaiju, like, because you said, oh, Kaiju had, like, some problems they had to fix and stuff. I think they actually were really good prepared. I think their roster was really well set up going in the playoffs, especially benching Scouter, because Scouter was an issue. But Nappa looked good in this series, and he looks better in playoffs, and he was their most struggling character on the roster going into playoffs. Oob and Slug were Oob looked good during the season. Slug looked like his Slug self, where he consistently did his 45 in a great defense or key build, and Bardock's still there. So I thought Kaiju was actually really well set up going into it. I just think Hybrids were just a better team. Like Hybrids, super scary base, masterless, and roster, and they showed like they were really good.
We did say earlier that Kid Gohan and Sword Trunks were basically working in these matches. Which,
not to mention the rest of their roster too, which is just some heavy hitters.
Yeah. So yeah, because was it? It's going into playoffs for hybrids actually. Basically, their core of the 3 Gohans were working, and it was just Sword and whether they wanted to do Kid Gohan or Goldo, which was the main issues. But
You do say that, and this isn't to say Ultimate Gohan isn't working, because he is. And he was, but this is the worst season I'm pretty sure Gohan's ever had, which is like, for his standards, it's low, but like for everyone else's standards, it's still high.
For his standards, it means he's a 40k character. For everyone else's standards, it means he's a 40k character.
On the flip side of the coin, this is probably the best team we've seen, and because team can, since it's on a B2 build, I think finding consistency on a B2 build is really hard, and he's killing it.
Found it.
I think
it's also the best future, I think, too.
Yeah, I was about to say that I think this is the best future we've seen in either a while or just at all.
I mean, as someone who's worked on hybrids and looking at their builds, these builds are pretty well optimized to what they were looking at. Like I've seen some of these builds tested before. It's a really good base they got there. So yeah, I think hybrids are a really tough team, and they have to. They will put up a good fight against their next opponent, which they'll need to.
Yeah, they will.
I guess. Just giving some closing thoughts in. Congratulations, hybrids, and we'll be watching to see if you can go farther. Believe in you. Kaiju, just don't think this is a bad thing. You get to test, you get to see what's wrong, get to see some stuff on Scouter, maybe change some stuff on Nappa, because from what I heard, they actually have something pretty juicy on Nappa.
They're cooking attack to Nappa, bro. They're doing it.
Back to Nappa. And I mean, you already have Bardock kind of in a decent spot. Slug is still in a decent spot. It's really just the other three. I mean, it's just really the other 3 members they had to look at. But
yeah,
I believe in them. They can do it.
No, I do too.
So, with that, shall we get to moving on to the next one?
I think we should.
Alright. Moving on, we have Budokai and Busaga. And I can definitely say, at least for the first round, it came really close. feeling close, I think.
Mhm.
But Budokai did etch out the win first round,
Yeah.
but Busaga then basically I'm not gonna say do Busaga things because Budokai did fairly well to try to combat Busaga in my opinion. But Busaga just had the more consistent members in my honest opinion going into second and third round. They saw what maybe didn't work in round one, and I guess just fixed it, and that's what caused them to get the reverse uh two wins they needed.
Mhm. Yeah. The first round was like incredibly close because
Wasn't it like within a bar?
yeah, Evil Boo versus I can't remember who it was on
Early?
Budokai. It might have been. And Evil Boo, like I remember this, he derped quite badly. He didn't do all that much damage, and it kind of cost obviously Busaga in the end. So they didn't in the round 2 and 3 matches. They decided not to put him at the back, and I think it paid dividends because he did a lot better when he was coming out first. Um, so yeah, it was interesting. I think the thing is, in round 2, I remember it being fairly even for a lot of the time. But then Kid Buu did Kid Buu things and started like extending the lead. And even Vegito, he popped off quite well in round 2. Um, I think as good as Vidal was in a lot of the main sort of end part of the season when Budokai got her in on that demonic bargain build, I think that kind of cost them a little bit. Whether that's just having Vidal in or just running her on demonic bargain, because she kind of got vaporized in round 2 and 3, which
And one.
I
She got killed in one too. She got
couldn't
killed in
even.
every single one.
Every single round she got vaporized, basically. I remember round 2 and 3 her getting vaporized, but because Budokai won round 1, I guess it escaped my memory. But it kind of that cost Budokai a lot.
I'll say even though I just want to say even though the Bonnie Park and Vidal didn't really do much, I guess they still had to make Busaga work for this win.
Yeah. Just for
Yeah.
some well, or here's my thoughts. Busaga really scary team. There a lot of people view, I think, favorites to win. They got the roster, they got the stuff, they got the moxie.
Yeah.
Budokai, I will say, all their characters looked real good. Besides two of them, because it wasn't just Vidal. Vidal, like, I don't think she did over 20,000 in the match. The other one was Adult Gohan, who also sucked most of the rounds. He had 5K in the first round, and that isn't just like a 5K, oh, he was put in. No, he had 5K while dying. He was close to fodder. And I think it was round 2, he was close to fodder, and round 3, he just got like garbage points because the lead was already too far away. So, there are three characters: early Goku, early Piccolo, and Goku. All look pretty solid in this series. Just that they got nothing from those two.
Yeah. Which is surprising considering how good Adult Gohan is, like its kit and everything.
Yeah, people.
Vidal you can kind of accept potentially that happening, especially against Busaga. But Adult Gohan?
Yeah, that's. If you ask most people in the league that's in the Discord, they'd probably tell you that Adult Gohan's the best, most sought after for FA.
100%, yeah. I mean, every year, like, he's almost always
instantly
the first pick.
taken.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a new FA comes out or something.
L21 this year.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's kind of unfortunate for Budokai because they were such a strong team, especially at the start of the main season. But they had a lot of fall-offs. Like, obviously hindsight's 2020, right? And after that first round, it might have been a bit of a rash decision. But maybe Supreme Kai could have come back in.
Yeah.
For Vidal or Adult Gohan either. Although I think Vidal probably would have been more obvious pick just because Adult Gohan has so much
He
potential.
is adult
He's-
Gohan.
Yeah, exactly. He has so much potential to just pop off. So, and also, I'm fairly certain he would be able to break Power Body on like Kid Buu and Kid Buu,
Majin Buu.
Fat Buu, Margin Buu. That's the one. People like that, he'd be able to break Power Body, so it makes more sense.
If he does, if he can transform.
He's in Super Saiyan, right? That breaks Power
No,
Body. Doesn't
he's
it?
on base.
No, he's in Super Saiyan on thingy.
Huh?
There he is. Yeah, he was on base on Kaiju last year.
Huh.
Sure, he's in Super Saiyan.
Also,
yeah, he is.
no, he doesn't break Power Body like instantly. It's Super Saiyan.
No,
very
no.
bad.
Yeah, he still breaks it though, right after like a
What-
couple of hits, which I think,
It's better than nothing.
it is. Oh, it's second last hit, yeah. No, that's still not the worst.
But
Yeah.
just
Any...
I mean, good on Busaga pulling out the win. As Macho said, they're probably definitely the favorites to go all the way and win. But I guess we can also talk about other teams that people might be considering the other favorites. Budokai. I mean, I think you did really well. You got to the quarters, and hey, don't go on. Just didn't want to do anything. This is weird.
Yeah, it's strange.
Hey,
I know he hasn't had the best seasons of all time this past season, but he's still been very good. So weird.
you know what? Having seen some of Budokai's tests, and after they got eliminated, yeah, my God, it definitely warrants to be. It definitely Budokai is the team to look out for, in my opinion. But
Anyway, are we ready to move on?
Yes.
Alrighty, let's on to Earth Defenders and Royals. We'll say there was no round 3 for this one. Royals 2-0'd, and I think one of the matches was a pretty dominant win.
Both were.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think both were fairly.
I didn't remember if round 1 was. I know round 2 was.
But no,
I think
we got killed both matches.
Round 1, I can't remember like specifically on round 2 how close it was. At the start.
I think
round 1
was
close at the start.
Round 1 was like 6 bars. Round 2 was like 8 bars.
Round 1 though, it was quite close at the start. Like
well, that's because Crowan started.
True.
Right.
So that's like
That is true.
Yeah. If I remember rightly, Nam and Nvidia kind of sucked massively.
Midku too. Both.
yeah,
Nam was actually our best character round 2.
It was round 1 though he sucked, right?
Yeah. There are 3 culprits for Nvegeta, Midku, and Nam.
Nvegeta and Midku are definitely the underlying not great characters round 2.
Mid Vegeta, as always, tried his heart out, but unfortunately there was.
If I remember, you put Mid Vegeta on an EL build round 2, didn't you?
He was always
was
on.
it both
He was on it the entire season. That's the same. Mid Vegeta's build didn't change.
You changed Nam's build, right? That's what happened.
Well, Nam went
On
beyond
round 1.
Eternal Life because Mid Vegeta was on Eternal Life.
Mm-hmm.
No. What I'm saying is you changed Nam's build.
Oh, I did change. I did make some changes. Like I changed Nam and Vegeta's build not to affect their AIs, but to affect the yells they had. Like switch around some KSAs, which could do some interesting stuff. And I changed Goku's AI from round 1 rounds.
Was Mid Goku? I don't think he was that much better, was he?
No, it was like the same.
He,
Oh.
from what I remember, he really didn't fire anything. He went Super Saiyan and died.
Yeah, that's the story of his life.
But
Yeah, give the match recap though. Stop talking about my builds. The builds
What
didn't
your
work.
build?
Get to the
The
recap
builds
of the
don't
match.
work like they used to before. Yeah,
I know
honestly,
recap match 2, but not match 1.
Deborah kind of shined in
Mm-hmm.
both matches from what I remember. Margin Vegeta did Margin
King
Vegeta things. King did a lot. The tag master, the man that always transforms in tags. He did that in round 2. I think he did that in round 1 as well. But yeah, it was a lot of King Vegeta actually, which is kind of scary when you consider Margin and Deborah are there. But King Vegeta is always known to be a bit of a menace.
Nah, he was bad round 1. Mid Vegeta kicked his ass round 1.
Yeah, but round 2, bro, he
Oh yeah, and
did decimate, bro. He did a lot actually.
I don't think I don't think I versed Baby Vegeta this series.
No, you didn't. I just realised that. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
For some reason, he was one that never came out. Everyone else came out, but it was.
No. Baby Vegeta was there. He was just on the bench cheerleading.
Yeah. That's all they needed it for. They didn't get to see their fifth character.
He was the water boy. He was there. He was there to get them all refreshments after they were done.
Bruh, madness.
Indeed.
Also, Mad Cooler kind of like owning Mid Goku even after going down to his last bar on round 1. Kind of.
I
kind of was unfortunate.
Didn't Meta do kind of good round 2 as well?
He matched up like with Krillin. Krillin beat him and then tagged, but that's still like not bad. It's Krillin.
Yeah,
Krillin is kind of
wasn't Krillin like at his last bar when he tagged?
Yep. So yeah, it's good. Good
stuff. Round one, he was. I think he did a lot more to Krillin than Mid Vegeta. In fact, most of the damage that Krillin took was from Metacooler, and then he almost killed Mid Goku, despite being like blasted down by him, down to like nothing basically. So
yeah, it's like the shining stars, at least I think, for Royals this series, and honestly most of this playoffs actually is Deborah and King Vegeta.
Yeah. Weirdly, we have had the margin moment with the wild explosion, but I don't think we've had as much margin Vegeta moments than we've had Deborah moments, which is kind of crazy. Especially with that Deborah elite in was it round 2 of Muscle?
I think so.
Margin Vegeta was definitely the best character in this series, though.
Yeah.
He did 85 versus us in round 1. That's the stats are in.
Well, we don't have stats for round 2 yet.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying for round 1, Majin Vegeta had 85,000. So that was Majin Vegeta kicking our butts. Yeah, so yeah, just a little analysis since I just studied the match again because honestly, I think I blocked the match out of my psyche, so I had to rewatch it to remember what happened.
Fair.
Yeah, so round 1, it was Krillin and Mid Vegeta. They did stuff. The rest of the team chose to not do stuff. And then the round 2, I think Nam and Krillin were the only ones working. Mid Vegeta had a rough round 2. And of course, I think N Vegeta probably had a 15k average in playoffs. So that's good for him. I'm glad he's getting his numbers. So yeah, that was a great loan for us to do. Yeah. So I don't know. ED's gonna look to the future. I mean, half our roster this season was like not our roster. So
yeah,
actually half. It was 3 and 3. So we had 3 people that were on our roster and 3 that aren't. So just gotta reassess, retune, restructure, and Royals look strong. They're gonna be tough for them Cold Kingdom fellows to fellow them.
To overcome, yeah, we'll see. We shall see.
Since we're starting to talk about Cold Kingdom, shall we get to moving?
Sure.
Yep. Congrats, Royals, I guess. And get ready to take an L in the next round. Thank you.
And can't wait to see how you're testing.
Yeah, don't even want to talk about my future. Want to talk about Kaiju's future, but not ED's future.
Oh yeah, we can talk about your future. Destiny brought the Kaiju future up. Go on,
Yeah,
tell me how
yeah.
Attack 2 Midku's going for you,
Uh,
brother. I know that's what
pretty
you want.
pretty bad, but that's mid.
It'll work. You'll find it. Goku AI popped off, bro.
You'll find a way.
Where there's a will, there is a
I'm not
way.
actually not in that bad of a spot. I have 2 working characters. I just got to piece the puzzle the pieces.
The jigsaw
And if I
puzzles.
remember, you have Tien and Yamcha back, right?
Correct. So that's a fun debacle because I have 5 characters that want to be on attack and healing. So I have to decide which 2 of those characters can have those Pataras.
A couple characters that just want that EL Patara real quick.
Oh yeah, 3 of them. So like, there's the 3 characters that want Eternal Life. The rest of them want healing. Every single character wants attack and defense. None of them like B2s. You know, it's a fun puzzle. That's why I said you gotta.
I understand your dilemma because that's like exactly how my team's working currently. But no, yeah. As I said, I'm excited to see your testing. Excited to see what you have cooking up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I guess shall we get moving?
Yep, sounds good to me.
All right. Now we have androids, Gold Kingdom, and I'm just going to go with the Xmat right here because yeah, this is
My match, and I'm not gonna lie, I predicted it. I said 2-0. Everyone was like, "Oh, are you sure you're about that?" Blah blah blah. And I said 2-0.
I was on jinxing
apparently,
you, so you can't blame me.
well, you did anti-jinx me. Remember? That's why it all works out in the end.
Exactly. I helped you win.
You helped me. I've been cheating. I've got help for a win. It's not allowed. Anyway, basically, sum up these 2 matches. Even though I said 2-0, I didn't think it would be this type of 2-0 because it was 2 stomps like back to back. A lot of it, like round 1 for instance, a key fucking moment in that match was we were losing because 16 was doing 16 things. He loves popping off against me, especially. He ate Tao, which kind of surprised me because Tao's been popping off lately. He was eating into Cooler, but Cooler blew up the map, and the water was gone. There was no more water. I didn't have to contend with that bullshit. It was over. It was gone. So everyone on my team could charge naturally. So that was a key fucking big moment. And then another one straight afterwards was 17 not doing anything in round 1 because he got blew up, basically. He took a freezer ult to the face and died. So that kind of gave us a big boost. And yeah, it just ended up being like 100% freezer show in that test. So, and with a slice of the old Zarbon, you know, my boy Zarbon still popping off even in this season in base. So, and then round 2 was it was the same theme of 17 not doing anything, but instead I guess it was because Mecha Freezer decided to beat him somehow because we started Mecha Freezer, kind of in the preparation that they would start 16 and hopefully counter that. But they started 17, which was a surprise. But Mecha Freezer still kind of did his thing and beat 17, which I think shocked a lot of people. It definitely shocked me at the very least. In round 2, Androids made a lot of build changes, so they put like Cell back on Eternal Life, but again, it was the Freezer show. This time, Tao actually came in and did things as well. And yeah, just we didn't even see Cooler in round 2, so a little bit of a stomp, but yeah, that's pretty much.
And you can't forget round 2 ending with Tao kicking his future self in the nuts.
Bro, actually, that's a very good point because androids, when we lost to them in the main season, Cyborg Tao hit like 3 ults and killed regular Tao, and they all said to me, "Oh, Cyborg Tao is the real Tao now, la 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 la." Well, who's the real Tao now, bitch? He kicked him in the nutsack and won the match. I think that's dominance right there. Okay, Cyborg Tao is not the one anymore. It's General Tao. Okay, so I won't be having any more
Yeah,
of that.
but you know what? But he's not part of the Face Force or is a cult member, so you're cheating.
He's my only elite character ever. Funny. Macho,
And
you
it's
have
in
any
playoffs.
thoughts? And in
Yeah.
playoffs too.
I think a real big theme of this series was 100% Frieza being the best character in the league.
Yeah,
He-
forget Go takes this 100%
yeah,
freeze, I don't care.
Well, I mean, he's become really something. Like almost to the extent of people would start using the forbidden word nerf for him because holy
No.
goodness, that guy can just eliminate a character just because he feels like it. It's like you said
No,
for
that's
7.
like.
It's like you said for 17. It's like you said for 17 round 1. It's like you said for other characters in round 2. He can just choose, and that character's gone. It's like, oh, you want that guy gone? All right, no damage for him.
He ain't doing anything, okay? No damage for you.
Yeah, really impressive from Frieza, and it's not to hold anything against the rest of Cole because he has a pretty decent supporting cast with them too. But when the boys pull up, the old Cole Kingdom. For androids, I actually had some hope for them because they were in a testing mode in playoffs or in a testing mode in regular season, and they did switch up their builds a lot from round 1 to round 2, and they saw mixed results. I still like this look I'm seeing from the androids because androids were a team that were kind of like stagnant in a bit. They usually kept their roster to themselves. So now that it seems like they're experimenting and stuff. So be scared. Androids are coming. They're experimenting. They're experimenting the droids using the science.
In fact, going
They-
off that experimentation line, there is a potential. It's been sort of confirmed by all the parties in the trading chat. It will get reviewed when things are open and Zenny is announced and everything when the season's over. But there is a potential of Super 17 being permanently traded away for Cyborg Tau, which I think would just be neat and interesting for Android.
my poor boy, he was so consistent this season. They're throwing him away.
Yeah, so was Tal though.
Tau is too, and also it gives them.
To
It
be
makes
fair,
their team more diverse. It's fun.
I mean, but
There's
it's still 3 other android members and
Yeah, but
2
they
active
have 2 active charges, not
Yeah,
like
good
having
mix.
all the passive charges, because that's all they're used to doing is having everyone being passive except Cell. At least there's a little bit more.
To be honest, I think we all know the real reason why they want to do it.
What?
They just don't want to
Why?
work with him, and he's on EL, which means that it's harder to justify a certain a certain cell form that they've been testing right now.
Well,
Yeah,
exactly.
well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of reasons to it. It's it's an interesting deal. Smart by the androids.
It's also I know what you're saying about semi-cell, but it also allows them to do kind of the thing that they did in this match if they ever wanted to go back to it, which is Eternal Life Cell or Eternal Life anyone but 17, Super 17 rather. So that's interesting. At least they can maybe diversify their builds a bit. So yeah, like I said, it was definitely fun. Seeing the stuff that's potentially going on with androids. I even think some of the build changes they made in round 2 were quite fun, potentially. Even the Super 17 one, which I don't think he did that bad actually, even with the build change. So maybe something GT might want to look into, because they basically put him on something similar to what 17 runs, but instead of Super 2, I think they run him on Super 1. Let me just double check because I can do that now. Where is it?
I think they ran Super 17 and 17 on basically the same build, just of course the 2 Super Blues.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Because let's have a look. So yeah, he was on Super 1, High Tension, Key Control, Indignation, and Shouts to AI. And I'm pretty certain we don't have the stats in yet, pretty certain he did one of the best on androids in that round 2, which isn't necessarily saying all that much because I don't think they did fantastic, but like definitely something to look at for GT if they do get him, or if for some reason it doesn't happen, androids can still look at him. So I mean, he basically beat Frieza on that build, so that means you're good, bros. Isn't that right, Macho? He's good if he can beat Frieza
good.
on that build. He's good. So
All right, well, ready to move on.
I am.
All right, prediction time.
All right, moving on. We have predictions, and look at that. There's only 4 teams. This
Yep.
is for semi-finals, if I'm correct.
That's correct.
And
After
whoever,
quarters, we go to semis.
yep. And after semis, we go to third place matches and the first 2 rounds of finals.
Yeah.
All right.
Hold on,
But
real quick before the predictions. I have an announcement. Whoever I vote for, I am sorry because I have done the research. Every time I've been on cast, my record is awful in predictions. I'm 3-17. So you are warned. I'm cursing you. All right, you can go now.
all right. Moving to our first prediction. We have Boo Saga versus Hybrids, and because there is an actual thing for it, I literally just put characters from each team there with the versus symbol in it.
Yeah.
Which is honestly fine because it's semis, so it's like it doesn't take up the entire screen. So I think, at least in my humble opinion, I think this will be a hard fought one, and I can see either team winning, but I'm going to have to give it to Boo Saga with a 2-1 win.
Now, how do I approach it? Okay, I'm gonna go with this. Is gonna be a little bit controversial. I'm gonna go 2-1 hybrids. I think that Boo Saga showed a little bit of vulnerability in the Budokai series. Obviously, I know they only lost the 1 round, but like a lot of round 2 and 3 was, as you said earlier, Macho, Videl and Adult Gohan sucking. I don't think hybrids are going to have 2 people sucking. Maybe Kid will suck. Depends who he goes against. But I don't think even Sword Trunks has like picked up a lot lately. I don't think they're going to have 2 sets of people sucking, and I also think Teen and one of Ultimate and Future can pop off enough to kind of claw back really deficits they face. So yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1 hybrids.
When it comes to the actual match, I think this is probably the best matchup they have for each of these teams because stat-wise, I'm not like counting stats, but like number stats with the characters, I'd say these are the best 2 base rosters in the league. And just seeing them face each other, with Boo Saga being incredibly scared with all 5 of their characters, there's probably not a better match than hybrids that they can go up against with characters that can go pound for pound with them. Because, it was like, oh, the Kid Boos, they're going to delete my team. I was like, oh, wait, there's an Ultimate Gohan and Team Gohan on the other. So they match up really well. However, Boo Saga has beaten the curse once. They can do it again. So give me my 4th win. It's going to be Boo Saga 2-1.
Okay, that's 2 voting on Boo Saga. 1 into hybrids. Yeah, I think it'll be a close match regardless. But yeah, what are you guys thinking about the dreaded match? The basically having the exact same roster match.
Xmat, don't tempt me. I'm gonna curse you.
So you mean Royals versus Royals?
Royals versus Royals, exactly.
Actually,
I'm the original.
Royals versus Royals and Henchmen.
That's Royals henchman. How dare you? How insulting. We were here first, okay? Cold was here first. I'll have it known. I'll let someone else go first. I'll let anyone go first, actually. Take your pick.
So you're saying I get to curse your team?
Yeah, you can try if you want to.
So I can try. Now you're really tempting me.
I mean, I was just going to say, like the previous match we had to predict for, I think because both these teams, literally both of them, for every time they've gone against a team, have always 2-0'd.
And most
in
were
the
Stomps
playoffs.
as well.
Yeah, and they were Stomps with like with either every character showing up and some just being on really high health, or just one character not showing up. So this is a really difficult one for me to vote for, but I'm gonna have to say Royals because I think you do have some chinks in the little armor there, which is honestly, if Frieza just decides he doesn't want to do much, which he didn't.
Which does it happen?
He hasn't done that whole season, bro.
Does that happen? that
Well,
happens when he chooses to not do something?
It does happen.
I don't want to jinx it. I
does
don't want to
happen.
jinx it. I don't want to jinx it. Because I probably will. I'm going to jinx it by saying this.
But
Frieza has not had a less than a 45,000 performance in the
And
entire season. And that
Yeah,
was
that's what I was gonna think.
okay, I'm not saying that like he's going to do bad. I'm just saying like he's not going to be like as explosive as he always is. That's what I'm saying.
Or I honestly, another argument you could make, and I would quite happily accept this too, is if the lineups go a bit wonky and like maybe, I don't know, Zarbon or like Mecha Frieza goes against Majin Vegeta, and then maybe Frieza goes against other people, and then it doesn't work out the way that it like ideally could. I can see that being an argument too. Because Frieza can still do like 60k and we can still easily lose because Majin Vegeta does like 100. Majin Vegeta. But I guess I'll step in and get my vote in. I'm going to go 2-0 to my own team, which might seem rather brash, I guess. But I have faith in 100% Frieza, I have faith in Mercenary Tao, and I have faith in Cooler and Zarbon. And even Mecha Frieza, because he actually beat fucking 17, okay?
No.
If Mecha Frieza can beat 17, I'm just happy, okay? I think we can make... I think we can do it, basically. I think we can win, so...
Macho?
I'm kind of back and forth. Whoever wins, I think it's going to be 2-0, but I'm not sure who that is because I think there will be a clear divide between the teams once they face off. Like once that round one shows, I think we can really see which teams built because both these teams are kind of built. I think Royals are better overall, but they both these teams have a character that like want to hide their flaws. They got the Majin Vegeta for Royals that want to hide the flaws of their team, and you got the 100% Frieza that hides the flaw of his team because there actually are a lot of flaws. There was a lot of disgruntled cold members in some points of the season because of certain characters not working, which I don't think is much as a Royals problem.
Jace is on the FA bench, okay?
That's true, but Mecha Frieza was that too.
Mecha Frieza was that.
Kind of. We were running a lot of test builds on Mecha Frieza. But also, at the same time, Mecha Frieza beat fucking 17. So, which, again, I just couldn't believe. And also, he popped off in round one against androids.
Yeah,
so
but it can't be all experimental like that because if we all judge Midku best off his best performances, he has tied second most elites in the league, and I over here stand on the Mid Goku sucks pyramid. So,
bro, what I'm saying with Mecha is we literally threw like a load of different builds. Well, it was all attack one, but we threw loads of different stuff on him and just threw loads of different. Like we never actually commit to anything until this past two. We tried to put him on this build against Rugrats, but he never came out. But against androids, we've committed to this build, so we will see.
All right,
But
well, Xmat is free from my curse. I go 2-0 Royals. So
well,
good luck, sirs.
haters
going-
gonna hate.
I guess I'm going to finish my vote then. I think, unlike what both you said, I think this is actually going to go to a 2-1 for whichever team. This is insanely close, but I'm going to have to go with Royals. And hear me out. While I think meta has been sometimes a problem for them, they just it's really hard to get off their back when the Bora, for some reason, just decides this is his time. This is where he just proves to everyone why he's a busted character, apparently. And both King and Macho and Vegeta are there supporting him.
Yeah.
Or doing the best in some weeks.
Yeah.
And
That's
while
fair.
Meta and Baby can basically just do their damage, so it's kind of like both teams have a 3-man core for them right now, with 2 like supporting members that can do their damage and maybe sometimes pop off. You know,
Yeah.
so
It's
again,
definitely
insanely
like,
close.
big
I think
boys.
2-1. But I will say 2-1 the Royals though. But I
Yeah.
think it will be an insanely close 2-1.
I should have prefaced this before as well. We did beat them in the main season, so there is that.
I mean,
so
yeah, but that's different. Like you could have boost or anything. You could have
actually, they had no
it's a
boost because
4-man.
they forgot. They
Yeah, but
didn't
did you?
post builds for whatever reason. We did, but I don't think it was it was the first divisional, so it wasn't like we spent that much any. If we did spend any, we might not even spend any. I can't remember.
I mean, but it is a 4-man. This is 5-man.
True. The answer is we didn't spend any Zenny, and they didn't
Alright.
spend any Zenny.
So basically, it's still just a 4-man, 5-man anyway.
Yeah.
With that, predictions are done. So with
They are.
that, we have come to the end of the Capsule Cast. Thank you all for watching. Comment down below for any improvements we can do to better the cast. Check out the links to the Discord, website, Twitter, and TikTok in the description below. And if you join the Discord, you can come join any of the teams. All but 4 teams, which are the 4 you saw in the predictions list, are in testing mode right now. We are currently a lot of stuff just being looked at for teams. A lot of trades, a lot of loans. But it's gonna be a fun time. And with that, I've been your host Destiny with my co-host Xmat
Bye, everyone.
and our lovely guest, coach of ED, Macho.
Bye-bye.
And we will be seeing you next time.